Hey there, y'all. Rafa the Pickleball Tech Dude here. It seems like Joola and Paddletek are in some trouble right now, and they might not be the only ones. I'm going to tell you guys really quickly everything you need to know about why the Joola Gen 3 paddles and several of Paddletek's new raw carbon fiber paddles were removed from the USAPA approved paddle list this morning. This was first reported by The Dink and a few other pickleball sources, but essentially this morning it was discovered that all of Joola's Gen 3 paddles and several of Paddletek's paddles, including all of the CX models, were removed from the USAPA approved paddle list. Now, I released a video last week about all of the problems that Joola's been having with passing testing at tournaments, so definitely go and watch that if you haven't already and you don't understand what's going on. But essentially, this is where everything has come to a head for Joola. Joola has released an official statement since all of this came out, which reads, most importantly, quote, "We believe USAP's decision to remove the Gen 3 paddles from the approved list was based on an administrative error by Joola in November 2023 as part of USAP's similarity testing protocols. Joola was only able to confirm the precise issue last week and responded immediately to quickly resolve the matter." So after reading that statement, you're pretty much led to believe that Joola just made some sort of error. Maybe there was some undocumented paperwork or some undocumented changes made to the paddles or something very small and minor that could be resolved within a few days to a few weeks. Now, since then, USAP has released their own statement regarding the Joola paddles, which reads, quote, "On May 14th and 15th, Joola informed USA Pickleball that Joola submitted the wrong paddles for certification in November 2023. As a result, USA Pickleball promptly delisted the affected paddles from its approved paddle list." Another section reads, "USA Pickleball will continue to evaluate paddles in the market in order to ensure our existing set of standards are being met." The message you get from that statement is completely different. Don't get me wrong, accidents absolutely do happen, and Joola ships out tens of thousands of paddles every month, so there's absolutely room for possibility that Joola submitted the wrong paddles for USAP testing. However, something that has been widely speculated among the paddle community is that the large pickleball companies, not going to name any names, but if you can think of a major paddle company, they're suspected of doing this, have been sending paddles specifically to pass USAP testing and then submitting other paddles to the general public. And the difference in tone between the two statements, especially when USAP says that they'll continue testing paddles on the market to ensure that they're meeting standards, leads you to believe that Joola potentially could have been doing this and got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And those are really the only two explanations that could possibly be accepted here. Number one, that Joola did accidentally send the wrong paddles, or number two, that they intentionally submitted the wrong paddles for approval. Personally, haven't formed an opinion on the issue because I'm not one to go and make assumptions without seeing something from a primary source, but let me know what you guys think is actually happening down in the comments. And now, one last thing that doesn't quite sit right with me is, where's Paddletek's statement in all of this? And is USAP going to do an even deeper dive into what other companies could have potentially submitted the wrong paddles for testing? I think in the same way that other reviewers like Chris Olsen are criticized for putting out bad reviews on a small company because it can't compete with the big ones, Joola should not be put at a different standard to other big companies, and we should see a broader statement from USAP about whether or not Joola was the only company in this situation. So definitely keep your eyes peeled about the news moving forward. I was going to release my Joola Hyperion review early next week, but I think I'm going to hold off until we see what happens with the USAPA approval to see whether or not I can recommend it to tournament players. But regardless, I hope whatever is going on gets resolved soon, especially for the thousands of customers that likely already ordered this paddle. And make sure that you're subscribed to follow along with what's going on with developments in this story and other breaking news. Thanks for watching. I hope you're leaving this a little bit more clarified on what the situation is with the paddles right now, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.